you know,
Warm.
cushion, more like it. Yes.
Away from all the cold
I
that you're
know.
going through right
I
there.
know.
And there's so many people abroad right now
Absolutely. Okay.
who
Awesome.
are hustling and they don't know the career direction they want to have in 2024. So this is that time, the beginning of the year,
Right.
when people actually would sit down and draw a map for 2024. What exactly am I doing in 2024?
Absolutely. DF, I am super excited to be on this live. Thanks again. This is our second duo. Again, I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to share what I do best, as well as, you know, how it will also benefit others if they actually take the advice. And also come in, like I always tell folks, IT cybersecurity is not really, well, it's for some folks and not for everyone. So you've got to be able to know exactly if this particular aspect of IT is for you or if it's not for you. First of all, I want to be able to introduce myself. I know there are quite a lot of folks here. My name is John Princewell, and some of you might have seen my flyer or ad at some point or the other. But again, I come with a 15-year worth of cybersecurity experience. Worked in the industry, both on the private and public sector. So I've kind of had experience from both sides of the aisle, and I can tell you very much that cybersecurity is really the trending career now. This is not a sales pitch, in as much as we are here for this, because some folks might say, okay, aren't there other types of IT program? Yes. There are others. There's engineering, there's system administration, there's project management, there's other types of IT program. But again, I'm only here to speak to the folks that would want to hear about IT cybersecurity. First of all, cybersecurity is it's a new sector within IT. Really, I would say about 20-something years old sector. And because of the nature of organizations having to move their assets, and when I mean assets, like their IT infrastructure, either to the cloud and having data transverse the internet quite a lot. So guess what? Information it's now very vulnerable, right? So let's even bring it down to you and I, just our day-to-day information on our phones, even where we live, right? So for us to stay secure, we have to kind of have security parameters, right? Just to be able to secure our environment. So whether you have a fence, you have security guards, you have cameras, like, you know, again, those things are meant to protect you as well as your valued assets. So whether it is your family, your children, your wife, your loved ones, as well as whatever prized possession you might want to have, the goal is for you to protect it. Now, moving into an organization standpoint, organizations do the same thing. For you as a business owner to stay competitive with your competitors, guess what? You want to make sure that your intellectual property as well as infrastructure, the data that you are providing or producing, stays within your organization, right? So you don't want your competitor to be able to gain information or someone destroy that information to cause harm to your organization. So that is why it's called cyber. So cyber is the protection of information as well as information systems. That's the computers, the printers, the servers that we use to generate data from malicious folks from gaining access to it. Now, this is all theory and a lot of educational information. This is just to throw light on what this career path is. Now, there's two major sides to it. There's what we call the compliance aspect, where you get to deal with the governance, so the policies and procedures on how to deliver cybersecurity in any environment, whether it was a private organization or a public organization. So these policies, like when people hear policies, they're just instructional guide, right? And these guides are specific to cyber protection. And our job from a compliance or governance standpoint is to make sure that these written guidance by certain organizations are implemented by the companies that we're working for. So that's the compliance aspect. And then there's a technical aspect, and that's the one that's a little bit more advanced. That's where you get to deal with, you hear of ethical hacking, certified ethical hackers or penetration testers. So these are the persons or the career path in cybersecurity that allows you to act as a malicious hacker. So it goes beyond that. So this particular, the reason why we're here is not on the technical aspect, because that's a little bit more advanced. And if you want to, get into those kinds of career path, you would have to at least go through some baby steps, right? So as an organization, JOME, what we try to do is introduce anybody. You don't have to have a degree, a 4-year degree. And I'm gonna get to this because Danny Freeze, I listened to your live. I usually don't comment, but I listened to your live, and there was a lady from the medical field that actually made mention of having degrees. And I would always advise, yes. It's always a plus. If you have a degree, it's definitely a plus when you're thinking about scaling up. So I would always advise, if you have a degree in any field, it's always advised to maintain that degree. Now, where it is relative into cyber is that you could leverage that degree. Cybersecurity does not require you to have a degree in cybersecurity.
But it is good to have a degree.
Absolutely. That I told you the last time. I'm not just, I do have a master's degree, a PhD in organizational leadership, but I'm actually on a second master's degree in cybersecurity. The reasons are because of my position, my current role. So for a lot of folks that might be listening to me, when you do start, you might start as a junior cyber professional and scale up. So, but where I am might be different from where others might want to be, or depending on who's on this live. But again, I'm on a management aspect. So, and again, it comes with years of experience. And because of my type of role, I have to have certain kinds of qualification. And again, as we all know, it's dollar, right? The more credentials you have, or the better your credentials, the more you could scale up financially. So, but in all, whether you have a diploma or an associate or HND or a bachelor's or master's or even PhD, the idea is that once coming into this industry, you are definitely going to make 6 figures, no doubt. And I tell everybody.
Now, let me ask you a question. Sorry,
yes,
before you go
good.
further. How easy is it to make 6 figures in America? Let's not talk about cybersecurity now. Any job. What are the careers that can earn you 6 figures?
So good question. So as you know, there are what we call blue-collar work, right, and corporate work. And guess what? With America or the Western world, especially with, I would say, America, it's interesting. This land is, we call it the land of the free, and you could actually live the American dream. So when we talk about 6 figures, you could be cutting grass, and I'm being very, very honest and plain. You could be cutting grass in America as a business owner. Well, you have to be a business owner to be able to scale. Everything is all about scaling, right? So you could be cutting grass. I actually know of a grass cutting company or the owner that's a millionaire. He's Italian, but he doesn't even speak very good English, but he's a millionaire. So the idea of making six figures, it's relative to different industries. So whether it's IT, whether it is nursing, and again, for a lot of folks, Jome, we're going to introduce something because again, we're trying to scale outside of IT into other industries as well. So at some point, I will introduce that to the public, and if anyone is within the Washington D.C., Virginia, or Maryland area, you could actually benefit from that program. So, but again, with your question, I would specifically speak on IT security, right? Because again, that is the niche. That is where I was able to scale. Now in IT is quite broad. It's just like medical, right? Where you have nurses, you have therapists, you have doctors, all kinds of roles. Same as IT, there are several roles. There's IT security, there's IT system administrator, there's developer, there are developers, there are software application developers, software developers. You could even go even up to the cloud. And all of these environments have their threshold of how much you can make, right? So, and when I say that, again, not to be specific in any industry, there are some industries within IT that you could get in, you could be comfortable, you could make anywhere between 80, 90, but you can't go beyond 100,000. Where there are some roles you can make 400, 500, 600,000. And yes, oh, trust me. And I'm not exaggerating. Some of my students, actually, there's one that actually came about 4 days ago. He has 3 cybersecurity offers. And guess what? He's over $500,000 working from home. And that's
$500,000.
Yes, exactly. No exaggeration. You know how? When you get your first job as a remote offer.
Did you say 500,000?
Oh yes. There. In fact, I have a previous colleague of mine.
I need to check this in naira. 500,000 times 1240. 620 million naira a year.
Absolutely. There is a colleague of mine. Wow. He's in Ibadan right now. He refused to. I keep calling him all the time. He's like, he's having a ball. Guess what? He's working for Google. He's working for 2 other agents. He's in Ibadan right now, your country, right now.
Ibadan, where I came from.
Yes.
Where I ran
I'm not gonna mention his name, but he's actually and guess what? He used to work with me, but because of the nature of where I work, so he needed that flexibility.
Somebody in Ibadan can make 620 million.
Yes, sir.
Naira
yes, sir. And a lot of people think you have to travel outside of the country. No. There is what we call remote.
How do they start?
So the idea here is
people want to learn. How do they start?
So the idea, sir, is that you use the power of remote offer. There are a lot of recruiters that are willing to recruit you overseas and even sponsor you if you could demonstrate the skill set. And especially, I would speak more of in the US and some part of Europe, it's more about the practical hands-on. So recruiters don't want to, yes, the academic part is important, but they want to know how can you bring value to their organization? Do you have the skill? Can you come in with little training or shadowing and come and help them with the resource gap that they need? So depending on the area or the requisition or the position that's been available, as long as you can interview, right, convincingly, you could get the job. And that if it's 180,000, if it's 150,000, if it's 120, if it's 100, or if it's 250,000, that money is yours. Now, that is the great part. But how do you get there? I always tell folks, and I'm sure other trainers would say, because in the light of transparency, I always tell folks, these things don't come by magic. They do not come by magic. For you to make $100,000, even in the U.S. here, it's, you know, you've got to know your skill. It's a skilled corporate type of work. So they expect you to be a professional and to know your craft, right? So that is where we come in as Joe from a training standpoint. So based on our years of experience, you know, I've been lucky enough to have started off from the ground. I started off as a junior cybersecurity professional, and I worked my way up. And currently, right now, I'm in a senior management role, managing good number of systems. When again, if you sign up for the program, you get to understand what systems are. But again, the idea is that I've been able to leverage this aspect of IT and, you know, tripled what I made quadrupled that actually what I made 15 years ago. Now, it didn't come easy because I didn't have someone like me talking to your audience right now on how they should, or training them on how they should, you know, kind of have this skill set. So, but it's going to be years of experience with the right guidance and a curriculum. I will be able to teach you from no experience, right? Step by step, for you to be able to understand the concepts and the regulations and what you need to know, and then show you how it's being done from a generic standpoint. So when I mean that, I do have like a current class going on right now. We're in the second phase of the training where we practically show you how these things are done per the roles. So whether as an internal cybersecurity professional, we will demonstrate everything that you need to know. Reasons are the recruiters, that is, the recruiters would expect you to know this aspect of the profession or the job. So by showing you and also helping you practice those roles so that you can at least have a good startup beginning, you know, it would enable you to be able to interview, you know, confidently with a recruiter. Okay. So with that being said, our trainings are usually 14 weekends. We say weekends because obviously I'm the primary trainer and I work during the weekday. I mean, you know, so yeah, I do. I mean, just why we set up this 7 p.m. because I had to go to work this morning. And guess what? I love what I do because I could work from my home. I could work and also on site. But the great thing is that I truly love what I do because it gives me what I call work-life balance. I get to enjoy great time with my family and also be able to train others and also scale so I could do other offers, you know, within the time that I do have. So with that being said, the training is a weekend training. So it's a Saturday and Sunday training, right? Where we train you for 14 to 16 weekends. So whenever anyone comes to me, I tell them, just plan for at least 4 months. 4 months, but I tell folks, please, if you have to come to Joe May, and I will say this, I'm sure other trainers will come and tell you the great stuff, but I can only speak for Joe May. What I would advise you is you dedicate. Every good thing does not come easy. You have to dedicate time. You have to sacrifice your time and resources. So when I mean resource and time, I mean your money and your effort, your computer, all of the required resources to actually get the training. But believe it or not, it will pay off at the end. So it is a 14 to 16 weekend program. The first 7 to 8 weekends we use to provide you the theoretical information or training. So we provide materials. There's also a platform where I record the live classes and also provide that as an additional training. So I would provide at the end of each weekend, I would provide that recording for you to sort of have a retrain of the class. And that usually lasts throughout the entire 16 weekends. for each weekend. And then again, Saturday, it's usually 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sundays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. And the second phase will be more on the practicals. That's when I get to provide you practical demonstration for each role. You get to watch me kind of demonstrate the roles and activities. Also, I get to coach you on how to interview for the role. Provide you, and again, there's going to be tons of cheat sheet documentations that I will provide that would help you when you do get the job itself. Also, will help with resume building. That is usually an addition to the training, as well as help you position you with the right recruiter. Now, a lot of people ask, okay, how do we get a job remotely, or how do they are offers? And again, I know people would say, okay, I normally go to LinkedIn, Indeed, the usual sites. There are specific sites that allow you to connect with recruiters directly. And usually that's where I help, connect my students with. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't love it. There are other types of IT programs, but believe it or not, I tell folks, I remember when before I got into IT security or cybersecurity, I tried Linux administration, right? But again, it was more technical at the time. But guess what? Because of the little knowledge I have, and with cyber has actually exposed me to a lot more programs or a lot more platforms. And that is why I'm no more an analyst. I'm more of an engineer or manager engineer, right, in cybersecurity, because I have vast knowledge of other technologies as well. And that's what this career path would expose you to. So believe it or not, yes, go ahead.
I wanted to make a few comments before we go any further. A lot of people are saying, we cannot hear you well. Speak in Nigerian accent. This is why you are poor.
Oh.
Somebody is breaking something down to you. You are more concerned about accent.
Okay.
I hope you have. No, don't worry, please. I'm just addressing the people in the comment section.
Right.
And I'm going to turn off the comment section if you guys are not being serious. First of all, before we go any further, for those interested in having this conversation with Jome Services, please, what are your details? I believe I have something here.
Absolutely.
So let me just share this number with you guys. Let me copy this. For inquiries, +1 240 260 8645. That is for inquiries. I'm going to pin the number now. You can send a WhatsApp to that number.
Absolutely.
You can send you could call the number, send a text message. The number, once again, hold on so I can pin it, is cut. Let's hold that. So I'm pinning it right here. I'm pinning it on Instagram, but there are people still watching on. Okay. There are people watching on other platforms.
Okay.
So let me pin this. Just hang on 1 second, and I think I got that. Okay. For inquiries, let me mute TikTok. TikTok doesn't like numbers being given out. +1 240 260 8645. I'll take that number again after the website. The website is Jomay, JOMAY services.com/student-application-form. Try that again. Jomay Services. Jomay, JOMAY, like Joseph and May, month of May. Jomay Services. If you can't spell services, I'm not sure you have any business here. joemayservices.com/student application form. Go to the website right now. Once again, the number is +1 240 260 8645. How much is the training? That's what a lot of people seem to be asking.
Good question. Good question. So before I get into that, I'm gonna break it down to as many. Now, this training is specific for certain people. Now, again, when I say certain people, it's not to downgrade or to say that folks cannot afford it, but it comes with a specific type of training and requirement. So again, when I say there is an assessed cost of the program, that's because there are lots and lots of information that we have tailored over time, and there are software or I would call them assets, solutions that are incorporated into this training. So that is why the cost is what it is that I'm about to mention. So technically the tuition is $3,000. Now, with that being said, I will tell you this. Just because something is expensive or less expensive does not make it any more important than the other. Secondly, I would also say this, that not all cheaper programs, right, is actually cheap or actually beneficial. The training that we offer, the reason why we provide that amount is because there are granular syllabus or granular solutions that we've integrated into this training. Remember, this is not a whitewash type of training. This is not something we're telling you come in 1 or 2 days or do a boot camp. We're literally bringing you behind the office desk and preparing you for the work environment. Now, what we also say is that this training is a 50-50 effort. I always preach that. The reason why, because a lot of people would come back and say, oh, Joe May said we are going to offer you a job. No. You are going to put in your effort.
Guaranteed.
Nothing is guaranteed. And the key here is
on your work.
You have to put in the effort. Even I, the trainer, I've put in a lot of effort. Believe it or not, the effort that I've put in, I don't think, I mean, you've got to really know know me 15 years ago to be able to assess that. But the key thing is, as long as you are able to put in your 50% of effort, guess what? Joe May will meet you halfway. And our 50% is going to be like 2,000%. Because we are going to load you with information and load you with what would prepare you or arm you for the job. Trust me, you are going to get that confidence and you are going to be able to get the offer. And not just one offer. We're going to train you to position you to be able to get multiple offers, because that's the much advanced way to be able to get into that area of negotiation. Now,
Breezy Abdul, sorry, let me just read this before you continue. Yes. Breezy Abdul says, bro, give back to the society and reduce the offer. Make it affordable for your people. So why don't you go and meet Harvard and tell them to make their courses affordable? Exactly. You see, my problem with you is you're always looking for giveaway. Giveaway for any. It is 2020. Have you heard that? You see, let me tell you something. My wife runs the Culinary Academy. Right. Some people say, why do I have to pay for Taste Buds Culinary Academy when I can learn how to cook on YouTube? I beg you, go and learn how to cook on YouTube and see what they will teach you there. Exactly. Can you compare what they will teach you on YouTube to a full hands-on class with a tutor who has 15 years experience, not a YouTube content creator who just wants to make money? No. I don't come online all the time. I only come, as a matter of fact, Dennis Freeze,
you notice you're the only one I've come. This is the second time I'm going live on any platform. I really don't come online. Now, for those that are asking for some kind of break, we do have some kind of flexibility. So we say for you to even sign up, we're not asking you to pay the entire $3,000. All we're asking to be able to at least pay $500 to start. Okay, and then we have flexible payment option. So you could either do weekly $250 or every 2 weeks $500. That is the standard because we're a business, right? But again, we can always work with you in regards to the payment plan. Now we also have a referral incentive. So where we say, let's say you don't have all the $3,000 and you have some of it, but you could refer your friends, right? So guess what? You refer your friends, and they have your name on the application form. On those forms right there, guess what? We'll provide you with an incentive of $200 that reduces the tuition. And if those friends are up to 10, guess what? You get the class free. Yeah. Yes.
So giveaway.
That is our giveaway.
Bring 10 people and you get the class free.
But again, they all have to be able to make the
never deliver on any front. They are just beggars.
Believe it or not, I tell folks that sacrifice is just like anything in life. If you want to have a shelter, you have to be able to find a way to be able to pay your rent, pay your car, or get whatever. Just like anything in life, if you want to remain in that financial stagnation or financial range, it's up to you. But if you want to scale up, you have to sacrifice something. Now, believe it or not, the cost is properly assessed, because what we're even providing, as a matter of fact, I've met 3 other trainers that have actually told me $3,000 that for what I provide is really low. Do you know there are some people that charge $9,000, $10,000 for not even as much as what we provide? And we still have students that will even in the course of the training that will be demanding for all kinds of stuff, right? They think that I say, and I go above and beyond. That's just me. The way I train, I am, you hear me, I reiterate a lot. Again, this is because I know that there are people that have, they're from all walks of life coming to the training, people with different intellect or intellectual abilities, different credentials. So the idea is to be able to, sort of take everyone, bring everyone along and make sure that everyone has that level of understanding. So when I'm running the theory training, it's not just training like we're in a lecture room. I would explain everything line by line. And I would use simple terms. I would relatable terms that would make you understand. Because cyber is really just internet activities protection, the protection of information and information technology from malicious persons. So if you can understand the concept and the process on how to deliver that security measure, guess what? You will be able to get the job. Very easy.
Now, a lot of people are saying, oh my God, $3,000, that's 4 million naira. It looks like a disadvantage. But if you can put in your best into this and start earning money, when you earn $100,000, remember it's also 120 million naira too.
And also, Daddy Freeze, remember they can still be in Nigeria and work multiple roles. That is where you get this 5, 6. So when you get to do 100,000, 150,000, another 150,000, that's 450 at a comfort on just you having your PJs on.
Wow.
So
Wow.
A lot of people don't see the benefits of this, and like I said earlier, there are other programs, but believe it or not, go do your research. Cybersecurity is the most trending. It's a global. Cybersecurity is global right now. Everybody is being or susceptible to an attack. Believe it or not, as a matter of fact, there's a device I didn't, I kind of had it, I didn't bring it, home for this. I kind of forgot it, but I wanted to show folks there are devices that all you need to do is be within a close proximity. There's several devices like that could intercept your information. There are very sophisticated hacking mechanisms that individuals are using, malicious folks are using on a daily basis on individual assets. That's your phone, your laptop, your cars. For a lot of people that, again, I have to stay outside of products, but again, I always tell folks, man, if you must get all these automated vehicles, make sure you got enough security on them, because you don't want to be breached, at some point, So, but again, the idea here is for you to be informed, whether you're informed from a personal user perspective, or if you want to use this to make earnings, make money.
A lot of people are saying these jobs require security clearance. Can you throw some light on that?
Absolutely not. So there is two, and again, I hear this a lot when people come to me. So there are what we call, and again, I have to be a DF because of my role. I can't dive into a lot of stuff, but I want people to understand that there's what we call private industry and public. So anything public is government, and that, yes, will require a level. And so there are several levels. So there's the very lower sensitive, and there's the higher ones, and there are going to be requirements. So, but guess what? There's the private. So private don't require anything. They just do background check and on you. That's it. They don't require you to have any sort of clearance. So when I mean private, that means the hospitals, the financial organizations, the banks, the legal industries, and whatnot. All the other industries, right? They're all public, and they do not require clearance. So that is a false statement. I can guarantee you. I've worked on both sides of the aisle, and I know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right. A lot of people are asking for the details. How do they get in touch? Let me give out the number again. Okay. +1 240 260 8645. Text message, calls, or WhatsApp. For the calls, wait till he's done here. For the WhatsApp and text messages, hit him up right away. +1 240 260 8645. I'm going to be giving out the number once again, so make sure you get a pen and a paper or your notepad in your phone. +1 240 260 8645.
Someone said 10% of the work is help desk. I don't know what organization does cybersecurity as a help desk. That is absolutely false. That is, I would tell you, the people that are help desk. These are the system administrators. So these are the people that you call over the phone to troubleshoot your computer system or applications. So cybersecurity, we're usually from an organization structure. We're literally on the IT, what I call the IT organization structure. After the business structure, we're next in line. So we work very closely with upper management. So when I talk about upper management, these are system owners, directors, COOs, CFOs, even with some companies, the CEO of some of those organizations. Now, depending on your role, that's what we call separation of duty. So in cybersecurity, there are several roles within cybersecurity. And even within the compliance aspect, there are several roles that are established. So we have the Chief Information Officer that, and again, if you sign up for the program, I will discuss in details. That's usually the head of our department. And there's roles that are like the Information Security Manager. That's the role that I perform. And then there are the Information Security Officers, Facility Security Officers, and there's the Security Control Assessors. Those are the auditors. So you could function in any of those roles. But again, it's based on your level of expertise and how you can scale up. So that's why that is why a lot of these roles you can make anywhere between 120 and up to 250, just for one offer. And guess what? You can maximize and scale up and double those roles by working 100% remote if you know how to work this stuff.
Now, a lot of people are asking, and this is what most people would ask: how easy is this job? How easy is it? Because a lot of people see content creators these days. Alibaba said, Mark, what's that name? Mark Comedy,
right,
makes $300,000 a month. I doubt if it's up to $300,000. Maybe 30,000, maybe 50, maybe 60, thereabout. I'm not sure he makes more than 60K a month. And you see, it's just easy. He acts, and he has Emanuela, and she acts, and Mark Angel, and they. So you see, what you don't realize is somebody said, "Daddy Freeze, all you do is set up ring light and gossip. Set up ring light and gossip, and see how easy it is." There are people who have been trying to do this thing. They cannot gather 30 people, and they've been on it for 2 years, and they cannot gather 30 people.
Exactly. So the truth of the matter is,
let me finish so they can understand. A lot of people tend to think that it's easier to be a content creator. No, it's not. And whatever you need to do has to be done well and professionally. So it's up to you. You can learn this and be good at it. Content creator is like music. If you cannot sing, if you don't get the talent, you will struggle. So how easy is it? I hand over to you.
Daddy Freeze, not to, there's a word a colleague of mine a couple of years used that we call this, some people call it glorified work, right? In the sense that as long as you can understand two major things, and that is how I understand this career. Once you can understand the concept, when people talk about concept, these are the guiding rules and regulations, right? And then what we call the process, the procedures on how to deliver the instructional guide. This rule is like ABC. Now, are there some things that you need to know? Yes, and that's where Jome comes in. Rather than you taking that rigorous step by trying to figure it out yourself, that's where we show you. We spent quite a lot of money. What I mean, over 100,000, creating infrastructure that simulates the work environment. Believe it or not, where I'm broadcast, I'm in my home, but we have a location, right? So when I also heard someone say, "Where's your location?" We do have a live location here in Maryland, and that's where I will be training from. We have all of the infrastructure set up, and I will be demonstrating. So we have software solutions, vulnerability scanning tools, auditing tools, repository tools that we are going to be showing you that will be quite somewhat similar, or if not similar, to the working environment, and we'll show you how to use these tools and this and also the processes, right? So the idea is, as long as you can understand the regulatory policies, because an agency or a body that have been put together has done pretty much all of the work, right, to develop the guidelines, the security guidelines. And all we're doing is providing the recommendation. That is the expertise. So from a compliance standpoint, we get to understand the regulations, and then we interpret that regulations to the stakeholders or the organization's stakeholders that would implement the security measures within their IT, software, hardwares, right, and even the data, in order to allow the operational users of that assets to work freely without any interference. It's like Daddy Freeze, your home, let's say you have all of your home devices, your computer, everything that you're working with right now, right? And you put security measures around it so that if somebody was trying to shut you down now, right, they will not have access to it. Because you've put measures to counter their malicious intent. Because the idea is not so much as to shutting you down, but is to interfere with your business. So let's say while we're in this life right now and your whole system shuts down, guess what? It has interfered with the business of today. And that would tell, right, that would either sway or dissuade persons from actually taking this life serious, right?
Yeah.
So our continued connection into this life, right, whether it's on both ends if we're secured, makes it more available to everyone listening to us right now. So going back to the question, how easy? That is why you need to sign up for the program. That is where we get to break down the process for you step by step. When I mean step by step, I'm not just exaggerating. I will show you. This is not like just showing you what is on YouTube or Udemy or anything else. We really take you. So what I tell folks, what you will find on all of these other platforms with Germany is going to be beyond that. And that's why it is that we actually charge that amount, because we really take you into the real world experience. The goal is to set you up for success, not to get you spinning around, because there are some trainers and again, I can only speak for Jome, there are some folks that will just be here to, sweet talk you, get your money, and then you're even more confused. For me, it's more as to my reputation and our organization's reputation. Second of all, I always tell folks, again, if you are not successful in this career, 82% it's going to be you, because we are going to pump you with a lot of information, believe it or not. And that's just me. That's my nature. That's the way I work. Even on, my 9 to 5, that's how I operate. So I always tell folks, when you sign up, take advantage of everything that you can get from me.
Now, a lot of people watching today are wondering, how does this fit into my lifestyle? What's the typical work hour day in this field?
Good question. So again, this is more like, because it's management, so the typical 9 to 5, but again, depends on the work environment. So most folks, again, make up their time. So there's usually an organization's operational time. So or what we call production time. So that's anywhere between 8 to probably 6. But again, as long as you are delivering or you're meeting your deliverables, right? So your deliverables would sort of guide your work day. So, and guess what? You're not pinned to that 8 hours, 9 hours, and different organizations have different working schedules. So you could either work 8 hour or 9 hour or 10 hour, and 9 out of 10 times, not everybody even get to work all of those times, because remember, it's more about deliverable. We're not like work every hour and your accountant. No, there's no micromanagement in this type of environment. And like I said, there's what we call on-site. That's where you get to work 100% on the company site. And there's what we call hybrid. So that's when you get to work some days at home and some days in the office. And that could be anywhere from 10%, 20%, 50%, up to 100%. So when it's 100%, that's 100% remote. That's when you get to work from home 100%. And that is the game changer. That's usually the game changer. For
those people who are planning to register from Nigeria, right, what do they need to know in order to be able to excel at this particular career?
Well, again, like I always tell folks, all you just need first is as basic as your diploma. But again, from a cybersecurity standpoint, because it's a little bit more practical. So and the training would avail you is that beginner level information. So there are certification curriculum that we use to deliver this training as well. So basically anywhere from the CompTIA Security Plus, as well as the ISC2 CG, or what we call Certified Governance Regulatory Certification, and also the CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst Certification. So those certifications, or these certifications that I mentioned, these are like the beginner or level 1 to level 2 certifications that introduces you into cybersecurity. So, but again, this will be more on the theory aspect. Okay, so that's why I said the training it's a two-part kind of training. So we use the curriculum from the certifications to deliver a deep dive or a granular explanation as to what the curriculum is requiring you to know, with certain or with required frameworks. So there's what we call frameworks. There are several frameworks around cybersecurity. So we actually deliver the overarching framework, because that framework is what other frameworks sort of mirror their process. So that's what we introduce to you during the training. And then the second phase now will be the practical way on how to deliver the processes within that framework. Trust me, you want to say, anyone that just heard what I just said, you would really want to sign up for this, because we really go in and you get to, now this, when I say we go in, it is generic. This is not specific to any industry. This is for you to know. Reasons are how company A would structure their process will be different from company B, but there is going to be a general process that will be required of you to know.
The world, as it's evolving, especially with regard to the workplace, is creating opportunities where people don't even have to go full-time to uni anymore. You could just know little things here and there, attend
Absolutely.
a 2-month course here, a 3-month course here, a 5-month course here, 1-week course here, and before you know it, you are better qualified than someone who spent 4 years in the university.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are complaining about not being able to earn and meet their financial demands. The problem is, you live in a world of opportunities, but if all you see are the problems, then How are you going to help yourself? Do you have anybody I can bring on to share their
Absolutely,
testimony?
absolutely. We do have, I believe I sent that information to you. Richard, he's actually in our current class, and Tiffany. As a matter of fact, Tiffany is all the way in Nigeria, actually taking the class currently. And again, these are current students that are in the class, taking the classes, and again, they could actually get to shed some light, as to some of the experiences that they already are experiencing. So if you want to bring Richard, and again, yes, some folks mentioned about some of the frameworks. There's the ISO 2700, that is for international.
Okay, so I'm bringing
International
Richard right
frameworks.
here. I've
Yes.
sent him a request.
Okay.
And then Tiffany.
Tiffany, yes. So there's the ISO 2700
details.
Yes, it's right there as well.
Official. Yeah. No. That's Richard Ochai.
There's
Tiffany Oji. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a 2700 for international organizations, but there is the risk management framework, as well as the cybersecurity framework, as well as PCI DSS. There's HISTRUST for those in the Europe within the Europe area. There's the PCI DSS. There's HISTRUST. There's SOC 404 for the financial
request. I can't seem to find her. I've sent Richard a request. I don't know if he's still here. You might need to get in touch with him because he hasn't responded. I'll try to send him again. I've sent him another request. Richard, I've sent you a request.
Richard,
kindly join.
If you're on, please.
And Tiffany is right here, so I've sent Tiffany a request too.
Okay.
Hi, Tiffany.
Morning. Actually, it's afternoon.
Tiffany, where are you?
Currently, I came back to visit like extended family for the holidays, in the U.S. But I'm actually stationed in Lagos. I came back to do NYSC, and I still haven't passed out. I'm still in my service year.
So you are a youth corper.
I'm a youth corper. Yes.
Hey. So tell us about your experience, Tiffany.
So my experience with the program is that my mother actually...
Please connect, okay?
All right. My mother actually found out about it through a friend, and she told me about it, and she had been telling me, like, since I've gotten out of university, like, oh, try coding, oh, try this, and like the way that coding at least works is that you have to pay by the language that you learn. Like, no one is just gonna give you full access to everything, and you're gonna pay for the beginner course of that language, medium course. So I tried those things. I couldn't get like enough higher like level to like build things, but then she introduced me to this, which was a cybersecurity course on administration and like management of like cybersecurity networks. And then I said, okay, I have a little bit of some background. I know how to read code. So why don't I just try this out? So as I joined the classes and I came into it, I'm also doing a job as like a project manager. And honestly, it was nice. And this is my first corporate job too. This is my service job, and it's my first corporate job. But like seeing the way that I can relate the administrative structures that were set up in my company to the administrative structures that Mr. Princewell like tells us that we will be doing in our future jobs is like, it's really nice, and it's like, it's helpful to see that like see like a realistic view when Mr. Principal teaches it to you, and also a realistic view like in your job workplace, because you'll see it. You'll see like, okay, everybody's segmented into groups. There's different permissions that people have. People that are in a higher level position, like your bosses, they'll have different things that they can do to different documents that you won't be able to do to different documents. And there's protections for like the company and things like that. So it's just nice. It's nice to be able to like see them like realistically with Mr. Principal, and then realistically like in my daily life.
Tiffany, what did you study in the university?
Me, I studied sociology. I'm a sociologist.
That's the same thing I studied. What university did you attend?
So I attended University of California, Irvine. I'm actually, yeah. So it's close to LA.
Yeah. So how did you go from sociology to cybersecurity
and data science? So the thing about it is, I went for sociology because I knew that I had like people skills. I knew that I could get along with people, but then I also I'm like an introverted person. I'm like a recluse. So that sociology major, it makes me go out there, but at the same time, I need something to do when majority of the time I'm just to myself at home. And that was the nice thing about like the data and the coding courses, because I could just be by myself alone. But again, the price range to get into that, to be a high level data coder and developer, is like, I'm still getting there. But the entrance fee and the entrance opportunity to be a system administrator, which also puts you like at like maybe like the backstage, like you're still working with people and things like that, but you're hidden from view almost. So that's kind of what I needed, like a respite, like a rest from always communicating with people, trying to analyze people, talk to people, do therapy, speak with them. I needed like a break from that. And this one was like the most accessible, and like it's actually interesting to like know that I could still, it's like a good mix between the reclusiveness of an engineer or a data engineer, and then the socialness of like still being in a corporate environment. Like it's a good mix between the two.
Awesome. What a testimony. What a testimony. Whoa.
Yeah.
Should I try to bring Richard here?
Yes, you can. And believe it or not, Tiffany is like one of my, choice candidates or students. Man, when she started the program, she literally was relating with her current role with cyber. So like I always tell folks, there's cybersecurity in everything that we do, from our personal life to other areas of or other career path. So once you can relate with that, it's easier to even come in as the professional to be able to deliver security measures for any organization. So Richard said he's been trying to get connected to you.
A request now again.
Okay, awesome. So well, yeah, like their session, she's actually in the current session right now alongside with Richard. So right now we're in the second phase of the training.
How are you doing? We have Richard here.
Richard. Hey, Rich, can you hear?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good evening, Daddy Freeze.
How you doing?
Good evening, Tiffany. Good evening, Coach.
Hey,
I'm good.
How you doing?
I'm good, Daddy Freeze. It's good to be live again with you.
It's been a while.
Yes, boss.
How are you doing?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm doing good, to the glory of God.
So tell us about this session. Tell us about what you're learning, what your prospects are, how easy it is for you to adapt to it, and whatever else you want to share.
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity, Jome and Daddy Freeze. Okay, I'm still into the solar energy, which in my company, people make as much as 200 grand upward. And I was thinking that's the part, that's the best part for me in this place until when I came across Jome a long time ago, but you know how you are just being sarcastical about, okay, yes, I have something in front of me, but by the time I get to realize that, look, all this time I've wasted, maybe by now, Daddy Freeze, maybe I'll be one of those people making the 600,000, you know, but, you know, yes, but like I said, this has really exposed me and shown me a great opportunity from another side of life. Why do I say this? Is that apart from able to make good money for yourself, if you do cybersecurity, you really understand what the IT field really means to you. Knowledge is actually power, because while I was not, when I wasn't into the cyber field, I don't know that the three most important things to you, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. This information, these three things will make or mar you. But, you know, with cybersecurity has given me that room now to understand what this means, and then giving me the opportunity to start making up to 600,000 as you had, by God's grace. Because, you know, when people, I hear people say that so many comments, but let me just advise you, you know, nothing comes easy. Nothing comes easy. If you want to really be successful in life, you have to build yourself. And without building yourself, you can't be a successful person. And without building yourself, you can't grow. You always remain stagnant. Daddy Freeze, I have gone from project management to HSC to Scrum to cybersecurity, and I'm still growing. But if you don't build yourself, you will just remain stagnant. And then when you see opportunities, you feel that people just want to corner you or want to bamboozle you with stories or not. No. But I advise you, if you want to take this opportunity serious, you will not regret it. And this is a life-changing opportunity for everyone that is listening to this live. Take it serious, because apart from being a IT, well, we call it IT, about being in the IT field, it will guide you. You will learn how to protect your own information. You will learn how to protect your family's information. You will know how to secure your family's information, both with you, both with your friends, both with your environment. Then you now start working with these things. So it is a life-changing moment, and I believe everybody should jump on this opportunity and take it lightly.
Jome Services, back to
yes,
you.
sir.
A lot of people are asking, how do I get in touch? +1 240 260 8645. I'll take that number again. +1 240 260 8645.
Absolutely. So just like everyone has heard, Tiffany and Richard, I'm super excited you guys joined. Just like anyone else in a training program, there's still lots of expectation, right? Like I also told both of them, as well as the other participants in the class. So there are others in this particular session, right, that because we just actually moved out of the holiday season and we're about to reconvene this weekend. So this Saturday, they are going to be in the class. But guess what? They're going to be experiencing something that they haven't even seen all through the training. So we're really going to be getting into the true meat and potatoes. I'm going to be sharing quite a lot, preparing them for the workforce. So that is where we are with this particular session. So, and that's why you hear a lot of the anticipation in your voices. But the truth of the matter is, this gentleman and this lady, as well as the few others that are in the classroom, are positioning themselves for a greater future in IT security. And believe it or not, they would tell you, like you guys seen the videos that I also put out. So I actually record the sessions and practically demonstrate some of the activities. So going forward, like even this coming weekend, I will be running some more demonstrations for them to actually see. So for the next session, that is exactly what I'll be doing. And for every session, it's not a repeated demonstration. I usually would run the demonstrations live. So it's not a repetition from a different class or a pre-recording. Everything, all the recordings are actually done live, and I will demonstrate, you know, the different hats, the different positions or personnels that will be involved throughout a particular process. The goal is for you to have a mental picture of how this works, because that will give you the confidence when you are interviewing with a recruiter or a potential recruiter that's about to extend an offer. The reasons are these recruiters want to know, do you know the process? So if you could interpret the process confidently, just like what you can see or what you've been privileged to see or know, it's easier to to interpret versus someone just telling you, okay, this is what it is. So, but if you've seen it, it's easier to relate with someone telling you that this is how it's been done. So that is why we kind of fuse that live demonstration with the coaching aspect of the interview, so that it is more feasible to be able to get those jobs. So there's more, and they will tell you already. They've already gotten some material. Please do not ask them for materials. You got to sign up for this program. But again, because everything is usually Joe May's intellectual property, so you have to sign up for the program to be able to get this privileged information that we are sharing. But the goal is to get people, employed, get people armed financially. Money does not just come easy. You have to put in something to get something. You have to sacrifice a little bit of what you have to be able to get something greater. Now, I do understand that some people might say, hey, 3,000 versus $300. $300 is different, right? That's a different value. But the truth of the matter is, nothing good comes easy. And trust me, if anybody out there is giving you cheap value, trust me, it's just it's a business strategy. Trust me. I even some of us that are in the industry, our organizations pay top dollar for internal trainings. So even some of us that are in the industry, our companies pay other folks to get retrained. And they don't pay cheap amount of money. So somebody waving $100, $300, $500, $1,000, that, trust me, it's gonna be catch me if you can kind of thing. Yeah, you don't want to be in a position where you're signing up for a program. It's almost like you're using $500 for something that you should have paid $1,000 and gotten the right value, but you're buying it $100. Guess what? You might get that stuff, but you might not get the true value of that thing, and the potential or the chances or the likelihood of you even getting to that offer or getting that offer is quite slim. And you end up getting to pay that $100 somewhere else again. So I always tell folks, don't be redundant. Don't repeat the process multiple times. If someone is offering you a value, believe it or not, we're not charging this to be able to get, extort money. We're providing the value. So So, and this is, again, like I said, cybersecurity or Joe-based training might not be for everybody. It's really not for everybody. It's only for those that really want to get into the career, that are really interested to be able to get this knowledge or skill set and leverage it. There are a lot of other students. This time around at Freeze, I brought folks with our previous life. I actually brought folks that are now in the industry. This time around, I brought folks that are in the class. I wanted people to be able to get a sense of what it is, what the aftermath will feel, the gratification, and also what it feels like within the process. A lot of these two folks, they paid the same value. Was it always easy for them? No. Believe they will tell you how, there are notifications of their payments, and guess what? They paid even up to the last payment, but guess what? They are getting their value. Richard here is certified. He didn't even tell you. He's certified already as a cybersecurity.
Yes.
He got his CompTIA certification.
Sorry. Let me even show them my my certificate.
Okay.
It's even right here on my desk.
Oh, you got it already, right?
Yes, I got it already. So
awesome.
I'm already certified, folks. So this is my
awesome.
I'm a certified cybersecurity. So that's my certificate.
That is his CompTIA right there. So
wow. This is so thrilling. Okay, guys, it's been a wonderful time hosting you.
Awesome.
Here is the number for those of you who are watching and you want to get in touch. This is the number to use. +1 240 260 8645 across all platforms. Here is the number. +1 240 260 8645. Get in touch right now if you are interested. So on a parting note, what do you have to say to the multitude of followers that you have gathered here?
Awesome. Daddy Freeze and everyone online, I first of all, I am privileged to be in this industry. 15 years ago, my life was not like what it is right now. Again, I'm not going to come up and tell you everything that I've acquired, but this career has literally paved a lot of way for me. By the grace of God, I do have a good life, a great life, so to speak. And but again, I wouldn't come out and tell you everything that's it's been acquired, and it's still a continuous path. It has secured me and my family and a lot of others that have taken advantage of this training. 8 years ago, we started training. Our first class was extremely full, and that was as a result of my gathering of a few guys in a church gathering. And these were guys that were sick and tired of seeing their wives, being the breadwinners. And they were like, who's this young dude that's making so much money and making an embarrassment of us? And guess what? Out of that group, three to five of them actually got work. And guess what? Our first day of inauguration of the training, the entire place was filled up. And Daddy Freeze, I can actually send you the pictures of that particular day. I still have it up to today. And ever since this is our 8th year of training, we've never missed a session. It's always every 3 to 4 months. And that's because we've always had folks. Now, is it going to be 100% employment for everyone? No, because remember, I said it's a 50-50 effort. So the folks that put in the effort, the sacrifice, whether financially or